Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we welcome you to enjoy Chapter 5 to the incredible Great Gatsby story. But first, we'll have a small word from one of our sponsors.
Ladies, aren't you tired of having to iron your husband's clothes every single time they go out? I came up with a solution for you. Buy the Wrinkle-A-Tron 3000, the newest fabric softener in the market and the best, proven by a group of scientists that can guarantee you no wrinkles will show up at all in your family's clothes. Buy now for only $10 at the closest market you can find.
Nick returned to West Egg and saw the whole street with lights from Gatsby's house, lit from tower to cellar. Then he saw Gatsby walking towards him.
Let's go to Coney Island. All sports, in my car.
It's too late.
Well, suppose we take a plunge in the swimming pool? I haven't made use of it all summer.
I've got to go to bed.
Alright.
Nick told Gatsby that he was going to call Daisy for a tea afternoon and inviting him over.
How about the day after tomorrow?
I want to get that grass cut.
Would you rather put it off for a few days?
Oh, it isn't about that. You don't make much money, do you?
Not very much.
I thought you didn't. I carry on a little business on the side, you understand? And I thought if you don't make very much, you're selling bonds, aren't you, all sport?
Trying to.
Well, this will interest you. I will take up much of your time and you might pick up a nice bit of money. It's a confidential sort of thing.
I've got my hands full. I couldn't take on any more work.
You wouldn't have to do any business with Walsham.
Nick cut Gatsby off, since he thought Nick was shying away, but this wasn't the case. Nick walked into a deep sleep, and the next day he called Daisy and invited her to a tea.
Don't bring Tom.
What?
Don't bring Tom.
Who's Tom?
The tea day, Nick drives into West Egg Village to buy different things, and Gatsby sends a greenhouse with receptacles to contain in it. An hour later, Gatsby opened the door nervously.
Is everything alright? One of the papers said they thought the rain would stop about 4. I think it was the journal. Have you got everything you need in the shape of tea? I'm going home.
Why's that?
Nobody's coming to tea. It's too late.
Don't be silly. It's just 2 minutes to 4.
Is this where you live, my dearest one? Are you in love with me? Why did I have to come alone?
That's the secret of Castle Background. Tell your chauffeur to go far away and spend an hour.
Come back in an hour, Fergie.
Well, that's funny.
Gatsby was in a corner looking at Nick and Daisy. He turned and disappeared into the living room, tripping over a clock on his way out.
I certainly am awfully glad to see you again.
We've met before.
We haven't met for many years.
5 years. Next November. Where are you going?
I've got to speak to you about something before you go.
Oh, God. This is a terrible mistake. A terrible, terrible mistake.
You're just embarrassed. Daisy's embarrassed.
She's embarrassed?
You're acting like a little boy. Daisy's sitting in there all alone.
Don't talk so loud.
Sometime later,
Oh, hello, old sport.
It stopped raining.
Has it? What do you think of that, Daisy? It has stopped raining.
I'm glad, Jay.
I want you and Daisy to come over to my house. I like to show her around. My house looks well, doesn't it? It took me just 3 years to earn the money that bought it.
I thought you inherited your money.
I did, old sport, but I lost most in the big panic. I've been in several business, drug, oil, but I'm not in either one now. You've been thinking over what I proposed the other night?
That huge place there?
Do you like it?
I love it, but I don't see how you live there all alone.
Oh, I keep it always full of interesting people night and day.
Gatsby gauged his possessions based on Daisy's responses. He felt overwhelmed by Daisy but regained his composure.
I've got a man in England who sends over a collection of things at the beginning of each season.
They're beautiful shirts. I've never seen such beautiful shirts before.
If it wasn't for the mist, we could see your home across the bay. You always have a green light that burns all night on the end of your dock.
Daisy put her arm through his abruptly, but he seemed absorbed in what he had just said.
Who's this?
That? That's Mr. Dancati, old sport. He's dead now. He used to be my best friend years ago.
I adore it. The pompadour. You never told me you had a pompadour. Or a yacht.
And look at this. Here's a lot of clippings about you. Yes, well, I can talk now. I can't talk now, old sport. I said a small town. He must know what a small town is. Well, he's not used to us if Detroit is his idea of a small town.
Look at that. I'd like to just get one of those pink clouds and put you in it and push you around.
I know what we'll do. We'll have a Cliff Springer play the piano.
Before we continue, a small word from our sponsor.
Everyone wanted a Crazy Supra ice cream machine maker. Maybe our parents didn't buy it for us, but we can make our children's dreams come true. Buy the newest version of the Crazy Supra ice cream machine maker in the nearest supermarket you can find for only $50.
Did we interrupt your exercises?
I was asleep. Then I got up.
Cliff Springer plays the piano. Don't you, Ewing, old sport?
I don't play well. I hardly play at all. I am all out of practice.
Go downstairs.
I am out of practice, you see? I told you, I couldn't play.
Don't talk so much, old sport. Play! Go downstairs.
Gatsby showed in his face a faint disappointment against Daisy and his expectations of her over the 5 years he dreamed about her. He had thrown himself into it with a creative passion, adding to it all the time, decking it out with every bright feather that drifted his way. No amount of fire or freshness can challenge what a man will store up in his ghostly heart. Gatsby's hand took hold of Daisy's as she said something low in his ear. He turned towards her with a rush of emotion. They had forgotten Nick, but Daisy glanced up and held up her hand, and both of them looked possessed by intense life. Then Nick went out of the room and down the marble steps into the rain, leaving them both together.
What an interesting chapter that was. If you want to know what will happen next, join us again next week and have a lovely rest of your day.